Hey guys, so I'm finally doing the Kat Von D Locket foundation review that I promised what seems like forever ago. I'm so sorry it's taken me so long to get onto doing this for you, but today I'm going to be doing my review and wear test on the Kat Von D Locket foundation. I have it in the shade Light 48 Neutral, so if you guys are interested in hearing what I think of this foundation and seeing how it wears throughout the day, then just simply keep on watching. So I'm just jumping on the Kat Von D website. I'm going to sort of go through and read some of the claims about the foundation. Now I have actually worn it I think on 2 or 3 different occasions, but it was more like 2-3 months ago, so I haven't worn it in quite some time. I do have a fairly good idea of what I think about the foundation, but it'll just be good to sort of sit down and do a proper wear test and sort of recount it throughout the day. So on the website it says 1 little pump is all it takes to even out discoloration, stop shine and hide blemishes. The coverage is amazing whether you apply it with a brush or a sponge. It's so long where we can go a full 24 hours without touching up or reapplying. Kat herself has put this to the test. The velvety matte finish will stay flawless through hell or high water. Since nerds pay attention, formulated with 21% pigment, our powerful potion is loaded with
proprietary pigments.
I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that word. I'm going to put it on the screen because I can't pronounce that. With
proprietary pigments, whatever that means, plus an exclusive blend of silicone, elastomers, and blah, 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 blah.
I can't read any of those words. They're a little bit too tricky for my tongue. As you guys know, I can't pronounce many things, especially complicated words. So let's just move on. So it's formulated with all that jazz, so your foundation stays fade-free, transfer-proof. Locket, you always have us looking and feeling like a total goddess. The bottle features an innovative airless chamber design that prevents contamination and maintains locket-rich consistency. That means you get a fresh, precisely measured dose with every pump. Cool! So, as you guys would have seen if you've seen the packaging, it is very fancy packaging. I actually freaking love the packaging of this. Cool. And it says just to use 1 pump. So I have, like I said, used it 2 or 3 times previously. I'm just going to put my hair back out of my face, and I agree, you do only need 1 pump. You really don't need more than that because it's very pigmented, but I also found it's a very fast drying foundation, so I personally do prefer to use it with a sponge. This is the Sigma 3D HT blender, so I'm going to be using that to apply it today. I think it's a good combo. You can use a brush with this foundation, but when it comes to like matte finish foundations, full coverage foundations, and foundations that dry really quickly, I do 110% prefer a sponge. I feel like 90% of the time I prefer a sponge at the moment. So it's just how I roll. And PS, my hands are way darker than my face because I am fake tan. As you guys know, I fake tan all the time, so this is a common occurrence. So the foundation shade should match my fake tan. So I think for today's video, I'm not going to prime because it says it's meant to be really good for oily skin types and last all day. So I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to try not to prime. I usually always use my Benefit Professional Matte Rescue. I feel like it does definitely help to keep the oils in check a little bit, but today we're going to go without it, and I'm just going to spritz my face first with my MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime spray because it just like hydrates the skin nicely. So if you're someone that watches my videos. So if you're someone that watches my videos regularly, then you would already know what my skin's like. I have quite pale skin naturally, so I need to match my foundation, but I also have a lot of pigmentation, which you should be able to see on the camera now. In particular, this left side is the worst side. I have this pigmented patch down the bottom here, and I get the odd little blemish here or there, and I have some pigmentation around my eyes. Yeah, other than that, my skin's very clear at the moment. I really don't have any massive bumps and lumps and pimples. I just have these 2 here because I picked my face yesterday. Idiot, I know. So I'm just gonna give it a good shake because I just feel like I like shaking foundations these days just to make sure the pigment's mixed, I can't talk today, especially with the super full coverage or super pigmented products. I just like to give them a good shake to make sure it's all combined. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 1 squirt, just like that, on a hard surface, and I'm going to work in sections on my face because, like I was saying, this dries very quickly, so I really don't want to have it dry down on my face before I finished actually blending it. So I'll start off with the left side of my face, and I'm just going to use my finger to dab some product on. And then I'm going to take my blender and blend it all over my face. And it's a damp blender, by the way, guys. It's quite damp. It's not just lightly damp because it is more of a full cover foundation that dries super quick. I like to go in with a really damp beauty blender, or Sigma 3D HD sponge, I should say, because that's what it is, not a beauty blender. I'm just going to go in with a little bit more around where I have that super pigmented patch. So that is just one layer on the left hand side of my face. It blended flawlessly. It covers so much just with one very thin application. It's amazing. Like, don't know if you guys can tell the difference because my lighting is so high, but I just love it. It is so nice. As you can see, it covered so much of that pigmentation. So this is the other side of my face, and I'm going to go ahead and put some foundation on that side now too. So that is just one thin layer over the entirety of my face. As you can see, it really flaws out my overall complexion. You can still see a tiny bit of redness coming through from these pimples. I could most definitely spot conceal those or add like a little bit extra foundation to those particular little spots, if that makes sense. But because I like to use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, it is a little bit more full coverage, so I generally don't cake on my base makeup too much. I just love getting an overall nice, consistent, fairly flawless finish. Little things like this dot shining through don't typically bother me when it comes to like my foundation. I'm looking at it up close. Doesn't look cakey, doesn't feel cakey. It definitely dries down to that really nice velvety matte sort of finish. Now I find with matte finish foundations, because I have like peach fuzz on my face, you can generally see it in the peach fuzz a little bit. So when I shave my face, I don't have that problem. So it's just because of the peach fuzz. So if you find that you have that problem with peach fuzz, you can shave or like thread your face and stuff like that. Like, it's not abnormal to do that, but at the same time, don't feel obligated to have to shave your face. Like, if you have peach fuzz like I do, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't look bad. I don't know if you can see this up close, but this is where I'm sort of like the hairiest around my face. You can see it in person a tiny little bit in the hair. It's a really nice finish though. I love it. It's so good. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off camera and just finish the rest of my base makeup, and then I'll check back in with you guys and go through some more details about the actual foundation. Alright guys, so I am back and it is just after 11, if that'll focus on my phone. Anyway, it is just after 11, so I've had this foundation on now since about 10 o'clock. So I've got the rest of my makeup on. So all I did was I concealed my under eyes, I applied bronzer, blush, highlight, brows, and I apply my bronzer like around this perimeter of my face. So I didn't actually set anything other than under my eyes. So I didn't put any other powders on my face just because it finishes down to like the sort of finish where it feels like it has been powdered, and like it doesn't have really any transfer. It might have the tiniest little bit of transfer. Might just put a tiny bit of powder. I'll use shit balls. I always like nearly smash stuff every time I film because I just got stuff everywhere. So I'm just going to use my Cover FX powder in the shade G+40. So it's their Pressed Mineral Foundation, and I'm just going to set a tiny little bit because feels like there might be a little bit of transfer, not much. just around that part of my face. Anyway, so just to show you up close, I think the color is perfect for when I have a fake tan. So I put this fake tan on last night, so it's a fresh fake tan, and I think it matches really well. It's got really nice undertones. I'm super happy with the color, and the actual finish of this foundation is just so beautiful. I literally, like, I love it. I love it so, so much. I cannot wait to see how it wears throughout the day. I just keep looking down in my mirror. Sorry, guys. And I just realized I have mascara on my eyelids that I haven't wiped off yet. Guys, I am like all over the place today. I'm so sorry. My brain is just like 20,000 things at once. But I'm super happy with how it looks on the skin. I think it's a really beautiful finish foundation. Definitely what I would consider full coverage, even though you could still slightly see those pimples coming through. Overall, it just gives you a really nice flawless finish, which is exactly what I like. And based on experience, it does last really well. So obviously I'm going to leave it on for as long as possible. That's why I've got no falsies on today, because I'm going to try to leave this on for at least 8 hours. I actually wore it to Sydney a few months back and I actually had it on for 14 hours. And I remember I Snapchatted because I wasn't even that oily, like after 14 hours. So even after 14 hours, it was looking really good on my skin. So yeah, so I thought I just would quickly give you some details that I didn't give you guys before. So on the Kat Von D website, the foundation retails for $35 US, and it's a 30ml bottle of foundation, which is the standard foundation bottle size. And then it's available on Sephora Australia's website for 49 Australian dollars. I believe they have a super large foundation selection, like color range. They have 30 different shades in their foundation range, which I think is incredible. I'm sure no matter how fair or how dark your complexion is, you should be able to find a foundation that is great for your skin color, skin type, and complexion and everything. I don't know if I said earlier in the start of my video too that I'm combination skin type. So I tend to be a little bit drier around the base of my face, but definitely more oily around my forehead. And I find that throughout the day, I do definitely get quite an oily T-zone forehead area in particular. So generally after like 6 hours of wearing a foundation, that's when I sort of feel it slipping and sliding across my face. So I'm super excited to check back in with you guys at the 6 hour mark. So I won't bother checking in before then. I'll just leave it about 6 hours and I'll come back and chat to you guys then, and we'll see how it's going. So it has been just on 6 hours that I've had this foundation on for. It has worn incredibly. I feel like my forehead is only just now getting very slightly shiny, but even then it's not bad. Like, it does not cause me any grief whatsoever. The one thing I did notice though is when I was editing back the footage you guys have just watched, I felt like the foundation looked super crusty around the few pimples I have on my chin. And it's really weird because when I look in the mirror, like I'm looking in the mirror, I don't see that when I look in the mirror, but on camera, this section in particular looks terrible. And I was like, what's going on? Because it looks so nice when I like look at myself in my mirror. So I don't know what's going on there. I did forget to say that I put a bit of concealer on my chin, and it was the Tarte, what's it called? I'm having an absolute mind blank. Shape Tape. The Tarte Shape Tape concealer. So it could be that maybe it's not agreeing with that, but I didn't use much at all. I only put a tiny bit on my chin because I didn't really feel like it needed that much coverage. So I don't know whether that made it worse or what, but in person it looks fine. It's just on camera it looks quite sort of cakey in that area. I feel like it's rubbed off slightly around my nose where I was blowing my nose earlier, but everywhere else it seems to be sitting really nicely on the skin. I don't feel like it's faded very much at all or anything like that. Maybe just in some place that I've touched my face. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to say about it at the moment other than it's gone really good. Hey guys, I'm just standing in the kitchen. I'm about to do my final check-in. It is 6:45, so I've had this foundation on for nearly 9 hours. And oh my gosh, it has held up so well throughout the day. It is definitely the most long-wearing foundation I have ever personally used, ever. I feel like the Urban Decay All-Nighter lasts pretty well on my skin too, but this just does that little bit better because I find even when I do get a little bit shiny, like on my forehead as you can see now, the the foundation doesn't break up at all. Like, it stays totally intact. The only place it's come off is where I've been blowing my nose and a little bit around my mouth because I've been eating. But other than that, it is a really great foundation. Like, I literally love it. I'm going to give it a 9.5. The only reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is just because of how it looks on camera with those little bits of acne. So like I said earlier in the video, I'm combination skin type. So I think if you're combo, oily, or normal, you're going to love this foundation. If you're more on the drier side, I don't know if you're going to love this. And if you have a lot of acne breakouts, it might sort of cling to those breakouts a little bit too much for your liking. I'd love to know in the comment section though, have you tried it? What's your skin type? What did you think of it? Leave your reviews in the comment section because I know I always find it helpful when I read through other reviews and see what other people think of the same product. And also, if you haven't tried it, are you thinking of trying it? Are you going to pick it up? Or what foundation do you want to try? I'd love to know in the comment section. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, please do give me a big thumbs up. And thank you so very much for watching. And I'll be talking to you guys really soon. I can hear a little dog. Mia, what are you doing? What are you doing, baby? Say hello, everyone. She was just eating her dinner. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.